Some stories burn slowly, like a candle flickering in the wind. Others explode into your life like a firework lit with gasoline. This one, let's just say it involved a sunny Saturday, two innocent kids, a backyard pool, and one unhinged neighbor who mistook audacity for authority and paid dearly for it. A backyard dream and a neighborly nightmare. It was one of those Saturdays that felt like summer itself had RSVP'd to the party. The grill was hot, the sodas were cold, and my kids, Oliver, 8, and Zora, 10, were splashing and laughing in our brand new above-ground pool. It wasn't just a pool to us. It was 2 years of overtime, sacrifice, and a whole lot of maybe next month kind of budgeting. That blue, sparkling circle in our backyard represented something we'd built with heart. I was flipping burgers with one hand, the other tapping a Bluetooth speaker playing Stevie Wonder, at a perfectly respectable volume, I might add. Life was good, but good doesn't last long when you live next door to Veronica. You might know her by a different name, Karen. Let's meet the queen of Willowbrook complaints. Veronica had been our personal HOA storm cloud since we moved into Willowbrook Estates 3 years ago. She complained about everything. Gospel music being too aggressive, our welcome mat being off-brand, and once even sent a letter saying the wind chimes on our porch violated community harmony. She lived right behind us and had a direct view into our backyard. And that Saturday? Oh, she was watching. From zero to nuclear in 60 seconds. As I stepped inside to grab extra buns, I heard shouting. Not the fun, squealing kind of shouting kids make, but something shrill, angry. When I returned to the yard, I saw Veronica standing on her side of the fence, screaming. "Get out of that pool right now," she barked at my kids. Oliver was halfway down the ladder, eyes wide in confusion. Zora clutched the edge of the pool, frozen. "Excuse me," I called. Veronica didn't even glance my way. She pointed a bony finger like a courtroom prosecutor on a caffeine high. "Those children assaulted me with water balloons. And that music, it's inciting hostility." "Water balloons?" I asked, blinking. "From inside the pool? Over the fence?" "Yes. One hit my gardening hat. I could have slipped and broken something. That's assault." I walked over, jaw clenched. "Ma'am, you're accusing my children of assault with water? On their own property? Your pool is a nuisance. It's drawing attention. You're disrupting the peace. I have connections with the HOA. I'll call the authorities." And then, just like a villain in a soap opera who doesn't realize she's been muted, Veronica stormed off and did exactly what she threatened. She called the police. 20 minutes later, 2 squad cars pulled up. At first, I thought it was a joke, maybe a parade rehearsal. But the officers were very real and very confused. "We received a report of juveniles committing assault," one officer said. "With water?" I asked deadpan. They walked into my backyard, where Oliver and Zora had wrapped themselves in towels, shivering more from fear than the breeze. Veronica met the officers at the fence like she was hosting a press conference. "I demand a citation," she said. "These kids attacked me. I want them removed from the pool, and this man fined for endangering the neighborhood." I handed the officers 2 things, our deed and my security footage. Because yes, after years of Veronica's nonsense, I had installed cameras. Not for the kids, for her. The footage showed everything. My kids peacefully playing, and Veronica stepping up on her patio planter with a hose, spraying us. She had provoked them. The only retaliation was a single, stray splash when Zora tried to swim away. Tables turned, receipts delivered. The officers watched the footage in silence. When it ended, one turned to Veronica. "Ma'am, this appears to show you instigating the incident. There's no evidence of assault." She exploded. "I don't care what your footage says. These people don't belong here. They're bringing down the neighborhood." There it was, the ugly, unfiltered truth. Not about noise, not about pools, about us. One of the officers stepped forward and calmly said, "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to return to your property. Any further false claims could result in legal action." I swear I saw smoke come out of her ears as she stomped back inside. But this wasn't the end. Because when you've been dragged through the mud for 3 years and finally catch your nemesis slipping, you document everything. That same evening, I filed a formal complaint with the HOA. I submitted footage, statements, and a timeline. By the end of the month, Veronica was handed an official warning for harassment, unlawful behavior, and discriminatory conduct. She was fined and required to attend a community behavioral expectations workshop, something she vehemently protested. Rumor has it she skipped the workshop, which resulted in an additional fine. HOA Rule number 37. Folks, you can't opt out of decency. Peace at last. With pool noodles. These days, my kids still play in the pool. Zora's teaching Oliver how to float without flailing like a startled octopus. We added floating lights, a small deck, and even a cheeky little sign. Private pool. Assault by splash, now punishable with extra popsicles. Veronica? She keeps her blinds closed now. But every now and then, I catch a sliver of her face watching from behind the curtains, like a defeated cartoon villain in retirement. And I wave. Not because I'm being petty, but because victory tastes sweeter when served with a side of poolside justice. Moral of the story? Kids deserve to feel safe in their own backyard. Water is not a weapon. And Karens? Well, they need to learn the difference between control and community. And maybe, just maybe, go for a walk instead of trying to colonize a kiddie pool.